That's cool. But anyway, this is part 2 of the way we see it, pet peeves. And we were going to talk about people that, especially on Facebook, related to Facebook, when they talk crap. Like, you know these people in real life, and they're talking, and I'm just talking about somebody, a hater, that is talking crap about you. I'm talking about people you really know in person, and they make these jokes, they want to make it funny, and insult you. Like a stabbing with, you know what I mean? That is not, we don't find it funny. It's happened to us before, to her, to MJ in person, and to me, where I'm like, that's not funny. That's not like you're.
Things that are inappropriate, like things that need to be left unsaid. Things like your mother should have taught you, if it's not nice, don't say it. Think twice about what you're going to say. If you think it's going to offend, don't say it. Because, like my mom says in Spanish, todos tenemos cola que nos pisen. So, you think you have shit to say about me? Trust me, I have a lot of shit to say about you. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, because I'm a good friend.
But this is where I've discussed it with Janet, though, sometimes, because you cannot censor comedy. Comedy, you know what I mean? In general, is sometimes it can be offensive, and it still can be funny. Like me and Emmanuel calls me old all the time. I'm not taking it personal, like this fucker really is calling me old, you know, like he's pissing me off, he's calling me old. No, because I know, it's like I say, the truth can never offend me, but it can piss me off. So, the truth is, I know I'm not old, you know, I know my age. He can say I'm 35 at the time, he said it before on YouTube, but I think it's funny,
Plus, that's the way you guys get along with each other. And
but you see, that's the thing, this person we're talking about wanted to get along with you that way.
And I said no. I said no, and that person took it up the ass. Like, really? You're gonna talk so much shit and you're gonna get pissed because I told you not to talk to me that way? Like,
okay.
Because a lot of people around you have no respect for themselves and let you talk shit to them all the time and think it's funny and will just laugh it off because they have no self-respect. I do, and I will not let you talk to me that way because I do not talk to you that way. So the way I treat you is the way I expect you to treat me, basically is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So if I'm not giving you that right to talk to me like that, you don't need to talk to me like that. If I took, like, me and you and us, we treat each other a certain way, is because we know each other and we know what we can tolerate. We know what's going too far already. If you don't know me that well, you don't have the right to treat me that way. You don't have the right to talk to me that way.
But that's the thing,
especially if I don't try to belittle you and ha ha ha, it's funny. No, you don't try to belittle me, especially when it's coming from you. Like,
that's the thing, though, when sense of humor comedy, you get a vibe behind it. You get a vibe through joking. But these people weren't joking. They had like almost like bitterness to it. Yeah. You know, it's not funny when it's a bitterness to a joke. Whereas like it's the same theme over and over.
Yes.
And you're trying to. It sounds like an attack.
It's like when you sense like it's like you cannot.
The
be
third
that
sense,
stupid.
or
like you cannot be that stupid. You sense it bothered them, it bugged them, and you're claiming to be their friend. You need to stop. Fuck, I fucked up. You know, like like the other day. Let me just say this. I had my friends or co-workers over or whatever. And I said, because when I speak in Spanish to someone that speaks nothing but Spanish, sometimes I get nervous because my mind speaks, like I talk Spanglish. So it works in Spanish and English. Sometimes when I'm speaking to someone that I know only speaks Spanish, like I get like, I don't know if it's nervous or what, but not all the words come at me in Spanish. I can think of it in English and I cannot think of the translation. Same thing happens with like when I'm talking to someone who only speaks English. And I happen to say, because my other coworker was here that speaks Spanish and English, and she translated for me a retreat, retiro. And I said retiro, and I could not think of the word in English. So she said retreat. I'm like, oh, thank goodness you're here. My coworker that speaks only English was like, oh, I'm sorry, you know, when I leave, you guys can all speak Spanish. And I felt so bad because I didn't mean it like that, and I knew that she felt bad, even though, you know, like, it may not have been a big deal. Maybe to her it was. Maybe I said it the wrong way. You know what I mean? So I apologized to her and I left it alone. Like now I know, you know, that bothered her. I'm not gonna say it again. You know, and these type of people, if I were like them, I know that bothered her, and I'd be going at it and at it and at it and at it every single time I got a chance. You know what I mean? And that's what these people were like. Because
I think it's more about self-esteem. They attack you because their self-esteem.
It makes them feel good.
It makes them feel good. It's like almost like going back to kindergarten. You know, you use the name Aura, Malaura, Palabra. You like degrade their name because it's funny and it's making you like the bully. So it's like, oh, you're cool, you're funny. When in reality, it's just hurting their feelings. It's not funny. You know, you're putting them down. It's the same mentality where the way they're attacking it, we see it as because you don't have what we'd have. You're not in our place. So like we're not throwing it in your face. We're not throwing anything that we have in your face. But you're taking it that way. You're trying to make it.
Like what I do, what I want out of life, I want to be successful. What I want is not to show off to you. Is not to put you down. It's what I want out of life.
I feel embarrassed.
If you want the same thing, then you do whatever you could to get it. You don't need to put me down for me achieving what I want to achieve.
Even me, I feel embarrassed with certain people. Like, just the car that I drive. It's like them knowing that I drive a certain car. Because certain people will shit talk. I've heard them shit talk about people with this, with, you know, that
Pisses me
do
off
this.
so
And then
much.
so, it's like, and I get that mentality too. Like, I get, like, why spend so much money in a car when there's...
Because you want to, because you have the means for it, because you're working for it, because you're not asking anybody else for money to do it. If that's what makes you happy and that's what you want out of life, nobody else can say anything. How does that thing sound? If you're not feeding me, if you're not financing me,
Or pointing me,
or something, yeah,
or fucking
effing
me.
me, then you have no say in it. It's none of your
Yeah,
business.
your opinion doesn't matter to me.
It really isn't. I'm doing what I need to do to get what I want in life, and you need to do the same thing, not worry about mine.
And so that's the hard part. Like, I mean, I understand what jealousy is because I felt jealousy. You know what I mean? For my
If
own.
you use it constructive, it's fine. But if you're just using it to spit, like, what's the
And
point?
this is why I
Do
tell-
something. Use that energy to make something good out of your life.
That's what I tell Janet. Like, my best friend Jennifer, she gets happier when anything good happens to me than I do
Yes.
myself.
I love it. That's when I know you have a true friend. When something good happens to you, you know how they say, oh, you know, when everything goes good for you, you have all your friends. But as soon as you go down, oh, you lose them all. That's not true. To me, when you're doing so good and like that person is really genuinely happy for you, to me, that's the best friend.
Well, I
To
think
me,
this
that's
is
a
that
true
saying
friend.
that I found a long time ago. People will be there to sympathize with your sadness, but very few people are going to be there to cheer on your successes.
Yeah.
And it's
It's
true.
true.
Because I don't know if it's a race thing. Like, I remember hearing something long ago, a joke about the Mexican fishes and
The crabs that like.
Chinese fishes, whatever it was. Like, this guy was fisherman, covered the Mexican fishes, but no wait, he left them open. The Mexican fishes, the can, and the
'Cause
Japanese or
It
Chinese
wasn't fishes,
fishes.
it was crabs, no?
I thought it was fish. Yeah, crabs.
Crabs, yeah, like he had like buckets, and
Buckets,
the
yeah.
Japanese he would cover them, the Mexicans he would leave them uncovered or whatever, and it was because the crabs, he said, the Mexican ones would pull each other down.
Once they saw somebody going up, they would bring them back down.
They wouldn't
But
bring
the Chinese one, they will push each other up to get up to the top. And so, like I said, I don't know if it's a cultural thing. I don't know what it is, but there is some jealousy. Like when we were young, my parents, we lost friends because of that. Because they made the same type of jokes. Oh, you got this computer? What is it like this computer? Does it
Oh,
do
it doesn't
this?
work for shit.
Or
It doesn't do this. It
This
doesn't
car,
do
you got this
that.
type of car. The car is shit. And so it's funny that as adults, we're kind of going to the same thing now. That
For people that you wouldn't even expect it though, like that's the sad part because sometimes you think you have a really good friendship, you get along well with these people until they make those stupid comments like what's your point? You know, like if you're supposed to be friends, like fight the urge, man. If you really feel that jealousy or that hate, whatever, like fight the urge. Why do you always have to open your mouth to say something negative? That's just the way I see it. Like, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say it.
yeah, I mean, I get